Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Unit 1 Electrostatics, and the topic we are going to discuss is to find the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. We will also talk about the grouping of capacitors, but first of all let us step into the article and find the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. First of all, we need to consider two metallic plates parallel to each other and separated by a small distance, such that first plate is marked as plate A and second plate is marked as plate B, and plus Q charge is spread over the plate A and equal amount of negative charge is spread over plate B. So we will separate these charges on the respective places and we will place the equal amount of negative charge on the plate B. So this is forming our capacitor. Now we know electric field lines exist from the positive end to the negative end. So this space is filled with the electric field lines parallel to each other, and we will mark the separation between the plates as small d, and now we know that we have to find the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. That means we need to recall the formula for the capacitance, and we know that C is equal to Q upon V, where Q is the charge and V is the potential existing between the plates. So let us mark this equation as equation number 1. Also the charge is constant because it is not going to change, but V is the potential which we have to calculate because we do not know the value of potential at the moment. Therefore, we need to recall the other definition, that is E is equal to V upon D. This expression comes out from the definition of potential gradient, but this equation could not be used directly. So from this equation, we can just cross multiply and we can find the value of V, that is V is equal to E into D. This is our equation number 2. This is still a raw equation and we cannot make use of this equation directly. We need to recall something else, that is we have to recall the application of Gauss theorem, in which we discussed about the parallel sheets of a charge having equal and opposite charges spread over the two sheets. So in this application we talked that the electric field intensity existing between the two parallel sheets is given by E is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught. So let us complete this. The charge which is spread equally on both sheets but is opposite in nature. Therefore, we know E is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught, that is the electric field intensity which is existing between the parallel sheets of charge. So this is our equation number 3. Here sigma is representing surface charge density, but we will use equation number 3 in equation number 2 so that our equation number 2 is modified. Therefore, we have V is equal to sigma d upon epsilon naught, and we will mark this equation as equation number 4. So we are having that final equation which we can use in equation number 1 in order to find the value of capacitance. So using equation 4 in equation 1. So what was equation 1? C is equals to Q upon V. We cannot change Q, but we can substitute the value of V. Therefore, C is equals to Q upon sigma D divided by epsilon naught, and rearranging it we can get Q epsilon naught upon sigma D, where sigma is representing the surface charge density. Still the equation is not complete. So from the definition of surface charge density, we know sigma, that is surface charge density, is equal to charge upon area. So we will use this equation and we will put it in the above equation, and in this way we will be able to find the value of capacitance. So we have C is equal to Q epsilon naught upon, instead of writing sigma we will write Q upon A multiplied by D, and we can cancel out Q. From here we have C is equals to epsilon naught A upon D, and rewriting it, and C is equals to epsilon naught A upon D. So this is the equation which we are having, and we will mark this equation as equation number 5. So this is the expression for the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, but in this case we were having no medium between the plates, that is the medium was either air or vacuum. But if we are having a parallel plate capacitor such that the gap between the plates is filled with a medium, that is, it has a medium of permittivity epsilon, then what we can do, we can say that Cm, capacitance of a capacitor with the medium Cm, is equals to epsilon A upon D. We will not write epsilon naught because naught represents the permittivity of a free space or air. So but we know that relative permittivity K is equals to epsilon upon epsilon naught. So from here we have epsilon is equals to K epsilon naught, and we will put this value in this equation and we will get Cm is equals to K epsilon naught A upon D. Now we have just substituted the value of epsilon, so we are left with Cm is equal to K, and instead of writing epsilon naught A upon D, we will use equation number 5 and we will mark it as C0. So C0, the subscript 0, is representing capacitance of a capacitor when air is existing as a medium between the two plates. So this is all about the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Now we need to step forward and we need to talk about the grouping of the capacitors. So let us talk about the grouping of the capacitors. This grouping could be done in two ways, that is, we can connect the capacitors. In the first way, we can say we can connect the capacitors in series, and the other way is connecting the capacitors in parallel. But first of all, we will talk about when capacitors are connected in series. Now we will consider capacitors. We will not consider number of capacitors. We will consider only 3 capacitors, parallel plate capacitors. So let us mark the first capacitor as C1. Now it is connected in series with another capacitor of capacitance C2. And C2 is connected in series with the third capacitor of capacitance C3. Because till now there is no current flowing through these capacitors, so we will attach a source of EMF which will send the some amount of current in these capacitors. So let us connect this series circuit with the source of EMF, that is battery. So now this is the kind of circuit from where current will be having only single direction to flow. So the same current will pass through C1, C2 and C3 capacitors. So let us mark this current as I. So I current is passing from C1, then it passes through C2, then it passes through C3, and then it go back to the battery. So let us say that the potential difference against the terminals of C1 is V1. Similarly, potential difference existing between the plates for C2 is V2 and V3 for C3 respectively. So now we know that Q is equals to CV, or we can say V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3, because same current is flowing. Therefore, we know potential between the 3 capacitors is different. So V1 plus V2 plus V3. And also coming back to the equation, Q is equals to CV, we can say V is equals to Q upon C. Now considering this equation, we can say that we have all the capacitors connected in series. So same current is flowing through them, as all the capacitors will acquire same charge because all the capacitors are connected in series, as I have said. So therefore V1 is equals to Q upon C1. Charge will remain same but capacitance is difference. So V2 is equals to Q upon C2, and similarly V3 is equal to Q upon C3. So we can say Q upon CS. For the first equation, we will write V is equals to Q upon C, but all the capacitors are connected in series. Therefore, I have put the subscript CS is equals to Q upon C1 plus Q upon C2 plus Q upon C3. And now taking the Q common, we are left with Q into 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3. So Now we have Q upon CS is equals to Q multiplied by 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3, and closing the bracket and cancelling the charge Q, we are left with 1 upon CS is equal to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3. So this is the final expression for the resultant capacitance of the capacitors when they are connected in series. We will mark this equation as equation number 2. And now if we have n number of capacitors connected in series, then that is n number of capacitors connected in series. So in that case we can say 1 upon CS is equal to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3 plus and so on plus 1 upon Cn. Now in form of summation we can write it as 1 upon CS is equals to summation I is equals to 1 to n, not 1 upon n, 1 to n, and 1 upon Ci. So this is the general way of writing the capacitance of the capacitors when the capacitors are connected in series. So this is our equation number 3, and this gives us a final expression for the capacitors when they are connected in series. Now moving to the second part, when we have the capacitors, they are connected in parallel. Now once again we will consider the capacitors of different capacitances. Let us mark the first capacitor of capacitance C1, the second capacitor of capacitance C2, and the third capacitor of capacitance C3. Let me complete it. And now we need to connect these capacitors in parallel. Therefore we will take the connecting wires and we will connect the ends of the capacitors in this way. Till now C2 is not in the circuit, so in order to connect it in parallel with the both capacitors C1 and C3, we will make the arrangements like this. And now there is no supply of current, so we need to apply the potential difference across the terminals of the capacitor with the help of the battery. And this is a battery from where I current is flowing, but on reaching this point I will just find its way, so it will some amount of current will pass through the third capacitor. I have marked it as I1, but it will be I3. Let us say I2 current is passing through C2, and similarly I1 current is passing through C1, because I current has divided itself into three parts, that is I1, I2 and I3, passing through the capacitors of capacitance C1, C2 and C3 respectively, and in return same current is going back to the battery. Now we have current which is divided into three parts. Therefore we can say I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Since different current is flowing through the different capacitors, so therefore each capacitor will acquire different charge, and we know I is equals to Q upon T. So therefore we have, instead of writing I will write I is equals to Q upon T. Instead of writing I1, Q1 upon T plus Q2 upon T plus Q3 upon T, because same current is passing through all these capacitors in the same time. So different current is passing through all these capacitors in same time, so we can cancel out T. We are left with Q is equals to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. So we will mark this equation as equation number 4. I have just checked the equation. So the thing is, we know Q is equals to CV, so we need to substitute the value of Q. But here if we are having net capacitance as Cp, in the parallel combination we can write total charge is equals to Cp into V. Similarly we have charge on capacitor 1 is written as Q1 is equals to C1V, Q2 is equals to C2V, and similarly Q3 is equal to C3V. So we will put these values in equation number 4, and instead of writing Q, we will write Cp into V is equal to C1 into V plus C2 into V plus C3 into V, because potential is same across the terminals of the capacitor. Therefore, taking V common, we can write C1 plus C2 plus C3 whole multiplied by V, and cancelling the V, we are left with Cp is equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3. So this is our equation number 5. And now again, if we are having n number of capacitors, that is, if n number of capacitors are connected in parallel, then we can say that Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus and so on plus Cn, or we can say Cp is equals to summation of I is equals to 1 to n Ci. So this is the final expression for the capacitance of a parallel capacitors when they are connected to each other in parallel. So this is our equation number 6, and this is all about the capacitors when they are connected in parallel, that is Cp is equals to summation of Ci. Now we have discussed all these three articles: capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, for which we have find the expression that C is equals to epsilon naught A upon D, and with medium we have the equation epsilon A upon D, and for grouping of capacitors when they are connected in series, we are having the final expression as 1 upon Cs is equals to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3, or in case of capacitors when they are connected in parallel, then we are having the total capacitance Cp is equals to C1 plus C2 plus C3. And now I hope you have understood all these articles. If yes, then do not forget to press like, subscribe and share button, and do press the bell icon